Let's talk about this, the big maintenance and repair bill on my 2008 Audi R8. We're in the dead of winter. I finally have the Audi R8 back after 2 months. It's absolutely filthy. It went through a lot of repairs. So usually I go for my annual maintenance with Bill. We have a repair bill, $6,400. We had a whole bunch of stuff we needed to do on the car. I'm gonna explain what all of that was. I'm glad to have the car back, but 2.5 months later, finally got all those repairs in place. Some of them just common maintenance items, but the ECU, some other stuff that were one-offs on this car, we had to go ahead and fix. So a $6,400 repair bill at the end of it all, but really happy. The car is running perfectly solid again. Really excited to actually get this ready for the spring. Then the other thing I actually want to call out is with the engine. So with all the maintenance done, Bill was able to go ahead and do a full tune, his stage 2 tune on the car, increase the horsepower figures, increase the torque figures as well. I'm excited to show you what that looks like on the dyno coming soon. So make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be doing a lot with Bill coming up in the spring as we take this thing to the track, but you probably can't hear it right now, but the engine is running so smoothly. I'm so happy that it's all been set up and ready to go. But let's talk about what all the maintenance items were. There was a whole host of them. The car is now what? This is 2008. We're in 2022. So the car is really old at this point. And even though it's got under 60,000 kilometers, a lot of those items, those maintenance items, while they weren't there for the kilometers, they were there for the years. So we needed to go ahead and replace a whole bunch of them. So really how this started was on a early December night, I was out for dinner. I was actually about to bring the car to Bill at Garage Auto Sports for its annual maintenance, oil change, filter, all this stuff. And it was completely fine. After dinner, I went to the car. It was running really rough. I don't know why. Had a check engine light come on. A little bit confused. And again, you guys know, you've been on this channel for a while. 3.5 years with this car. It's been nothing but reliable for the most part. And so I was a little bit confused, sent it over to Bill. Long story short, which I'm gonna be covering when we go back to Bill in the spring, we're gonna be doing some other stuff with him. Long story short, issue happened with the ECU. So the computers on this car, both of them, one of them was giving a checksum error. There's a whole rabbit hole that we can go into as to why. At the end of the day, Bill ended up fixing it. So we got that fixed in terms of ECU. So ECU fixes needed to be done, one. We had the oil change and filter change, your general maintenance. That had to be done for the car. Every year I do that. We did that as well. BC Racing, and I mentioned this in a previous video. Again, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. If you like anything to do with the Audi R8 or everything, I do everything on this car. The one thing I did was take it to the track. I had BC Racing coilovers installed on this car, and I found that they were a little bit too bouncy on the track. You can see some of my track videos, and I love these coilovers. The best value for these cars, especially because the magnetic ride suspension on the Audi R8s all fail. I really like the coilovers. They were just a bit bouncy in the rear, just a little bit bouncy in the rear. I tried to adjust it out. I wasn't able to adjust it out the way I wanted to. A little bit concerning. Talked to BC Racing. They sent me over a new pair of springs with different spring rates to try on. I actually have those installed now on the car. Can't wait to try those out on the track. So I'm gonna give you my full update on how that went as well. So we had the springs put on, replaced the old springs. We also had a bunch of maintenance done on the car. This is a 2008 car and it's 2022. So the car is fairly old now at this point, and it had the original spark plugs and injectors. So when they were looking into, what all the issues possibly were with the car, they found actually 3 of the injectors were leaking, and then the spark plugs because of that were a little bit fouled. So that may have reduced performance in the car as well. Maybe that's an excuse as to why I could only run a 13.2 max, quarter mile on the drag strip. So maybe that's a little bit something for me there, but ended up having to, make the decision. It's been 14 years with this car. Let's replace the spark plugs and injectors, do all that maintenance. While it isn't necessarily necessary because the car only has 57,000 kilometers, we just thought, let's get it out of the way. That was a major maintenance item for, I believe, 100,000 kilometers to get that done on this car. We just did that now because of the age. So full spark plugs, full injectors were done as well. Got all that cleared out. Additionally, thanks to the Garage Auto Sports team and Gleb, they went ahead and looked into the gas tank and found there was a little bit of unflammable gas in the gas tank. And we actually don't know why. Well, I don't fully understand why. I fill this car only with 91 premium at Esso, but Esso has ethanol, 10% ethanol mix, and I did use Stable when I was storing this car over the last couple of years. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, quite honestly. I'll actually put up a picture of what they found in the fuel tank. If you guys have any comments around that, let me know in the comment box down below. Pretty interesting, but all of this basically came up to, $6,400 Canadian to get all of this done and fixed on the car. Now, that seems a little bit excessive, but that's because we brought in a whole bunch of maintenance and obviously fixed those ECUs as part of the maintenance cycle for this car. So, I'd say this car basically for everything has been really good, solid. This is the first major repair, which I honestly wouldn't consider so major, that I've had on this car. Now it's running like a gem. On top of all of this, we did retune the car on Bill's stage 2 ECU tune. So we have some power and we have some joy built back into this car. We have a lot of this stuff obviously done on the car now. I'm excited. We're gonna go back to the dyno in the spring with Bill to actually see what kind of numbers we're pulling with this tune and all the maintenance done on the car. But if you guys like this video, give it a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to, follow the journey on this Audi R8 and everything else that I do on the channel, from cars, motorcycles, detailing, track stuff, you name it. I got it covered on this channel. But I just wanted to give you guys this update. Again, for the real-time updates, follow me on my Instagram, Canadian Rider Vlog. That's where I really post all of these updates in real time. But I wanted to give an update on this to YouTube as well, because this was a big expense that came, or a bigger expense that came on the R8, but nothing like unexpected, again, after 3.5, almost 4 years of ownership of this car. So again, just really happy with it. Glad to have it back in the stable. I always get anxiety, even though I know it's with Bill and I trust Bill and his team. It's just when I go back into my garage, I don't see it there. It's like, where's my baby? Until I actually have a kid of my own, I think this Audi R8 is my child that I take care of and I love dearly. So I'm really happy to be back on the road. I just took it, for a car wash, get all the gunk off of it. Obviously, it was in the shop for a while. On a nice day, I'm gonna clean it and give it a wash, but until then, I'm gonna put it back in the garage, put it on the battery tender, and then start planning what we have in store for the spring with this car. A lot of track days, a lot of great special stuff that we have, and we may have some fun in the snow. I got a new set of tires, some Blizzaks on some OEM R8 rims, so that's coming out too. But yeah, if you have any questions about the maintenance, about the car, and if you know the ECU issue, check some. And what the hell is all this sludge, or I don't know what this is. It looks like goo gone in the gas tank. Let me know, but I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hope you guys are having a great 2022. Hopefully spring is coming up soon for us. I'll catch you guys in the next one.